goes against it, eh? The eyes have it.
Our journey has been steady from the advent. With crystal clear vision, we started off as a news online portal. We subsequently evolved into a magazine, and now on your radio. We do not only bear the name Media House. We practice with the best ethos of our professional calling, presenting facts with objectivity. We are committed and resolute. We are HallowMace. We are the standard bearers. It's HallowMace On Radio, dedicated to promotion of legislature, democracy, and good governance. It's hot, interactive, educating, engaging, and entertaining. HallowMace On Radio, Thursdays, 10 a.m. on Armed Forces Radio, 107.7 FM. HallowMace On Radio, Parliament, brought to the people. Brought to the people.
Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, listener. Good morning, our audience across Abuja and its environs. Wherever you're listening to us from, be it in Kogi, Nasarawa, Kaduna, this is Armed Forces Radio. It is time for your political talk show, which we call HallowMace On Radio. This Thursday morning, it is the 25th day of April. How is your area? How are you coping generally with the economic situation? Are you finding it difficult to adapt with the current economic realities? Are you still grappling with the issues of epileptic power supply? Have you been affected by issues of insecurity in Nigeria? Have you been a victim of the bad guys who see kidnapping, banditry as a legitimate business? All of these are issues, are challenging times the country is still facing when we have a new government in place. Some other persons will argue that the government is not new because they have spent over 100 days. People will want to begin to see results because people voted for persons to occupy or represent their interests in governance. It is on these that we will focus our discussion. And today on the program HallowMace, we'll be looking at one burning issue in the polity, which is state policing. Nigeria not mature for state police is speaking, and who is the person that this is attributed to. He is the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. He said Nigeria is not yet mature for state police. Once of governors' excesses, he is warning against governors' excesses as federal government insists on the creation of state police. Could the IG of police be correct? Do you think Kayode Egbetokun is correct? Nigeria is not ready for state police, considering how insecurity has ravaged virtually all the 6 geopolitical zones of this country and even our national borders. Is the IGP making a sense? We need time. We need to buy time to do the paperwork or get things done correctly before we rush in and rush out. So this is the topic of discussion. I am not alone. I did promise you I have guests in the studios, and it is my pleasure to introduce my guest. First, sitting by my right-hand side is Honorable Ossai, Nicholas Ossai, who happens to be former member of House of Representatives. Good morning, sir, and welcome to our studios once again.
Thank you, my good brothers and sisters. I salute you all.
All right. Sitting by my left-hand side is Chief Ogakwu Dominic, who is President, Civil Society Group for Good Governance. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. The issue of state policing has had its own fair share of national debate, constructive criticisms, and people having divergent views and opinion. But one thing is paramount. Security is everybody's business. And if you're not affected directly, indirectly, it will have a way to come at you. Either your relative, either your business, in one way or the other, you will be affected. Because if there is no security, the issue of food security will become a problem. Farmers can go to farm as a result of banditry or attacks by herders, by these bad guys. It has a way of affecting the the economy in one way or the other. But the bone of contention now is that I think about 15 states, they have submitted their report, giving it a nod for state police to be established in their own state. But the IGP, in his comments recently, said, we are not ready. Let me begin with you, sir. Give us your own perception. What do you make of her state police as an individual, looking at it from the angle of what the IGP said, we are not ready? Your own general overview of state policing, considering how the country has tried to curtail the excesses of insecurity.
Yeah, thank you very much. In all my life in the parliament, I've always voted for state policing.
Okay.
That's 24 years ago now. From 1999, I've been in parliament. And to that extent, my vote has always been for state police. And why did I say so? IG has refuted that this is a personal opinion.
His own opinion.
Yeah, and the opinion of police has not come out.
Okay.
It's during the
So would it be right
dialogue
to say that we are still waiting for the police to give us their own position?
Well, the Minister for Police has already given us his own positions.
Okay.
Because he's a policy maker. And he's at the helm of affair of policing. So he has already supported the state policing.
Okay.
First of all, Nigeria must prioritize security. Security is a multiplier effect to the growth of macroeconomy. So to that extent, I believe that state policing is ideal, because when you bring a state police, people who are opposed to state police have said that it's going to reduce participatory democracy. I also don't totally agree with them completely. To some extent, some governors who emerge to control state police might be autocratic in nature and try to use every manner to be able to deal with their opponent. But that's not the issue. The priority of the entire Nigerians are the basics and the foundation of a growth of an economy. So I believe when we go into state policing, we looked at probably the problems that will emanate and be able to solve such problems through legislations. So I believe that state policing is the ideal. It will create multiplier effect in terms of people going back to their farms in agriculture. It will also safeguard people. People will not be afraid in terms of transportation from interstate, from another place to another. And even within the state, policing is ideal. And I believe that the 10th Assembly that is navigating around that subject matter should be able to deal with this decisively. Because that's the fear that created even during our tenure in the last assembly, 9th Assembly. Some civil society advocated that state policing will create a lot of problems in terms of participatory democracy. Because of opponent versus opponent, governors will use it against their opponent during the elections. But do we talk about election against life? There must be life first before you contest election.
Very true.
So protection of life of the citizens is the key, first of all. The other issues can be dealt with as we progress along. And who is matured? And who is not matured? Even Americans today might not advance on certain issues because they feel they are not matured to that extent. Now, it is the practice of the programs that create loopholes and you address those loopholes. What's the essence of lawmaking? And what's the essence of oversight? The essence of oversight is to oversight the law you have made and cure it. That's the essence of it. So, state policing is a way to go. And I believe we should deal with the issues this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ossai. Let me come to you, my other guest, and looking at how sensitive the issue of security is, Chief Ogakwu, Dominic. Your counterpart in the studio now is giving it a perfect go-ahead. Is endorsing state policing 100%, being a former lawmaker. You as one of the personalities spearheading civil society group, considering the antecedent, the trajectory of Nigeria's politics, do you think we are ripe for this? Because the issue of participatory democracy is very, very sensitive. Do you think that there is a need, don't you think that there is a need for a national dialogue for all stakeholders to have their input before this is given a go-ahead?
All right, thank you very much. I would start by actually reading out a position put forward by the former President Goodluck Jonathan. And for me, that should not, that has made the matter of state police not debatable any longer. The debate is quite unnecessary with the happenstance, with all that is going on in Nigeria. I think it's not a matter of debate any longer. It should be a matter of implementation. This is what he said. He said, there is no way we can manage our internal security if states will not have their police. The issue today is very critical. We don't need to debate whether we should have state police or not. I think that is concluded. The issue is the operations of the police. There is no way we can manage our internal security if states will not have their police. Former President Goodluck Jonathan throws his weight behind the agitation for state police in the country. This has been my position. It's not a matter of debating longer. It's to even the blind, to every Nigerian. Let's forget about the little hiccups. There's no policy of government that does not have one challenge or the other. So we have surpassed the idea whether state police should be a thing or should be implemented or not. It's the implementation we should be talking about. What I expect the IG to do is to put himself together to actually be the regulator of whatever the state police will be. He still has a great role to play, and I feel it will not even limit his powers. Whether you talk about with regards to participatory democracy or whatever, they are not exclusive in themselves. These are issues, and for me, I feel that the state police should be structured in such a way that it, with regards to the challenges of the state, the security challenges of the state, those are the issues that the state will address. For instance, the security challenges we experience in the north are quite unique to the north. They are not the same like you have in the south. Or every state has their own peculiar security challenges, and I feel the state police will go a long way in addressing these issues. Again, why is it that we said Nigeria is not mature? How old is Nigeria? Are you telling me a 60-year-old man is still a child? Is that what we are saying? As old as Nigeria is, we are still thinking that Nigeria is not mature for state police. It is totally incorrect. It is an unpatriotic statement from any quarters it's coming from, with due respect. Again, why is it that we take so much time to change our minds concerning issues that will help us develop our democracy, help us deepen good governance, and help us engender a new narrative with regards to how we go about our daily lives? Like Honorable said, what are we thinking about? Are we thinking about politics or are we thinking about human life? Why is politics at the front burner when human life should be what should be on the front burner? So these are the issues. For us, we have always advocated for state police. We believe that this will go a long way in resolving a lot of issues. If we even had state police, the issue of that we are even experiencing now, the security challenges we are experiencing now, would have been nipped in the bud a long time ago. Because what we are saying, how about the issue of job creation? There are a lot of young people who are doing nothing, who are idling away. State police is going to create jobs in their numbers. And I feel that if you are talking about the powers of governors in trying to misuse, influence, or take advantage of the state police, I don't feel that will happen. Now, we are getting very enlightened at the moment. Nigerians are becoming very enlightened, and it is Nigerian citizens are becoming very enlightened with what happened during the NSAS, with other issues that are happening in the polity, and the way these people are, young people have become. The world has become a global village.
And participatory in.
It's becoming, you understand. So I don't feel that except the governor wants to actually have a mob action or wants to have a revolt. That will lead to the revolution that Nigeria has been waiting for all this while. So I don't feel that any sensible governor will want to manipulate or what. Even right now, the police that you are talking about, they are the beck and call of the governors. Except it has to do with federal issues. That's when you see the police will now be able to change their minds. But right now, the police you are talking about, the commissioner of police in the state, is loyal to the governor. He's loyal to the governor, so it takes nothing away. So for me, I feel that we should be thinking of how to implement the idea of a state police for Nigeria to help our security situation and help our security architecture.
Well, the conversation is definitely tilting towards one direction. My two guests happen to be on the same page, and they are giving it a nod. They are giving it a go-ahead. It should be an issue of implementation and not an issue of debate at this stage, because former President Goodluck Jonathan and major policy makers and leaders of the country, they have thrown their weight behind state police. Do you agree with the need to establish a state police, looking at how the country have been subjected to issues of kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry, and all forms of, we still have insurgency in the northeast, and we have different kind of unrest across the country. Is it the way to go to curtail all of these security challenges in the country? We would love the program to be audience participatory. We would love to get your own thoughts and your own reactions concerning what we are discussing. My two guests will definitely be here to answer your questions as well, because we have a country that is blessed with so much natural resources and human resources. All we need is the right environment, the enabling environment for people and business to thrive so that the economy can get back. Call us on 090-9752-9699. The studio number is officially open. Are you for or against state policing? What are your reasons? Because the IGP is saying no. He's giving his own personal opinion why he thinks Nigeria is not ready for state police. 090-9752-9699. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to interact with you. The microphone is coming to you as a listener, as our ardent guest on the show. So be part of the call, be part of the program, and call us on 090-9752-9699. While we are waiting for your calls, let me ask Honorable Ossai. Definitely, the issues or the comments made by the IGP would raise eyebrows concerning the history of Nigerian politics. In every policy, there are pros and cons, there are merits and demerits. Can you, in a manner, can you give us some of those merits which you think would outweigh the demerit? Some of those advantages which you think would definitely outweigh the disadvantages. But before you respond, let's accommodate our first caller. Hello, good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to HallowMace On Radio. Tell us your name and your location.
Yeah, my name is
Balamoses.
Yes, I'm calling from Asokoro.
From Asokoro. Balamoses, go ahead. You have a question?
Let me balance it up.
All right.
There is nothing that have advantage that doesn't have disadvantage.
Okay.
The idea of police that is like teaching against the decision is not totally wrong.
Okay.
And aims for the creation are also correct. In the sense that when you look at the state in Nigeria today, if you look at the excesses of some of the governors, it's something worrisome. And then, if now the state have the autonomy of the policing, it becomes worse. We all understood that the primary aim and objective of governance is the protection of life and property.
Very true.
But in Nigeria here, it becomes contrary when our people are being elected into power. The excess of their power, when they get there, is exactly the reason why the idea of police is looking at it from that dimension.
Okay.
At which, myself, I think I will align personally with him ideologically. But on the other side, it is for the protection of life and property of the citizenry of this country. And then the food security, the economic security, or what have you we can think about in the country today, will be guaranteed. Because the security will be closer to the people. I think in the past, I listened to Ossai when the governor of Kaduna State, when he was giving me the statement.
Former governor.
That he wrote to the federal government concerning the security of the state about how many times that he was not granted. So that affected him. So I listened to his comments. That we should begin to look at it that the security apparatus will be paid out to the people at the state level on the advantageous level. You understand? So this is very, very key.
Okay.
So in balancing it out, so the people. If we are to work in line with the provisions of the Constitution, I think that is my take.
Thank you very much, Bala Moses. But you don't have to sit on the fence. If you, okay, you have made your submissions. Honorable, he, just like my question, there are pros and cons, there are demerits and advantage of any policy of government. This has to do with a very, very serious issue. He spoke about autonomy of the police responsible to the national level, how we've seen abuse of power by some of our governors. What do you make of it? Because we are clamoring for something that is supposed to supersede the challenges of insecurity.
I think the state policing is meritorious in all ramifications.
Okay. How about autonomy and abuse of power?
I do not see disadvantages to that extent because it has not been implemented.
Okay.
And one, the IG is raising an issue of power accumulations. He feels that if he police the entire Nigeria, there are more power to the IG positions. So that is not meritorious at all. It has not passed any litmus test. Okay. And to the extent is this. You don't do only one policies. I believe that the 10th National Assembly should devolve power completely. Devolve power in terms of other issues in the exclusive list.
Okay.
It must be devolved in line with state policing. It must not be only state policing. We have to also revisit the issue of revenue sharing.
Okay.
Revenue sharing by state, because if you have a federation, that means I witnessed this the 60s.
Honorable, sorry, let's get this caller because he has been calling. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Tell us your name and location before you go ahead.
My name is Prince Santos.
Prince Santos.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, Prince.
Okay, the issue of state policing.
Yes.
First of all, I throw my weight behind state policing.
Why?
Reason given that we have seen what other countries of the world practice, especially those countries that we emulate. Say, for instance, the United States. I don't think the fear of the IG, with all due respect, is the issue here, because nobody is removing his powers. His powers are intact, it's just that they have been moderated and reduced, and that will even augment, even exalt his own office at the federal level. So my major point is where people are clamoring and afraid of state policing is the abuse by our political leaders. We shouldn't be looking at political aspects of it. We should be looking at the end, the essence of having police in the first instance.
That's true.
Protect life and property. And I also agree that in the process of getting state policing, the appointment should not be residing on the powers of the governor, who we fear may use them arbitrarily. It should just be a given assent, just like the National Assembly does bill, and at the end of the day, he sent to the president to sign. But it should come from the National Assembly, State Assembly, where to thought of that membership of that State Assembly will take somebody who is to be the next commissioner, depending on the nomenclature, the name they want to give it at state level. That is in the place of IG in the state. But that will be subject to professional selection from the either state police affairs, who will go through the ranks and file and see based on merit who is entitled, who merits it. Let it not be by political appointment.
Yeah. And
then when you appoint somebody, you begin to maneuver the person. No. Because if you come through the professional process of the police affairs, you will not be able to get merit. It will not be looked at it from the point of rank and file, how you grew up or what you know, and then. And it should be looked at on integrity basis, who you are as a person that can lead and manage. Because once you fail to manage your own group very well, then it will escalate to the populace. So state policing will go a long way to give Nigerians that hope of fighting insecurity. The insecurity is here that the governor does not need to wait until he gets the approval of IG or the president before asking for any enforcement during crisis or during attacks in the local areas. I think that is a major issue because we need to really fight insurgency. And insurgency, before it gets in, get everything from federal, the havoc has been done. And we are always at the point of, instead of being proactive, we are retracting, which is not good for us. At least the policing at this point in time, now we are matured, we are grown. And it will also help to connect, help to get those laws and get it right as time goes on. So when we live in like this, even at this federal level now, are we getting it right? No. It's not as if Nigerian police is not good, but in administrative pattern, what is enforcement logic? What are the disciplinary actions taken when things are happening? The commissioner of police will do wrong at the state level, the IG will say, pardon him or remove him because he did not carry order. All those things should be implemented. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prince, from
I think I share completely the views of the caller. Because I think he has a lot of experience and he has demonstrated it by those comments. And secondly, when you talk about policing, you are talking about giving confidence to a local economy.
Wow, that is deep.
Because when any investors is coming from outside Nigeria, and they find out that in Delta State, the policing system there makes it working, and the environment is conducive, nobody will be kidnapped. And police are the beck and call when you call them to address an issues. They are there, and the justice system in that state is perfectly okay. So when you looked at those key areas, I'm happy that National Assembly is devouring power already in terms of energy, the power to the state to be able to create their own powers into generations are already there. So if you ask state policing, it will enhance perfectly what the industry needs. Industry needs a good environment to operate. Industry needs a good justice system to operate. I think police will bring confidence on the local economy completely. And what we talk about local economy, when we begin to grow local economy, the macro aspect of our economy will be something else.
We'll begin to
I can't imagine. And the issues of employment, just like my fellow colleagues now in the in this chamber talked about in terms of youth employment. In fact, when industry begin to spring up, you're not talking about people being recruited into police alone, but people are being recruited into industry, including agro industry. We grow because people go back to their farm and begin to farm. The issues of farmer, this thing clash will not be there. A lot of power has been given to address those kind of issues. So I believe that, I think we have wasted a lot of time.
On the debate. The truth of the matter is...
Before you respond, let's accommodate this call so that you just add up everything to your response. Hello, good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, welcome to the show. Tell us your name quickly.
This is IG Lobo from Orozo.
Okay, IG from Orozo. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say that, yes, we all know that the police is the way to go. But I have a big problem there. See, if we are saying that they are right, I want to differ. In the sense that if you look at what we have been facing with this government up to now,
yes,
we are yet to tackle it. So that we think that we are going to wait for us to see the problem coming up and we will handle it. We don't do anything. Hello?
Yes.
Look at the local government issue. Look at the judiciary issue. Look at the House of Assembly issue. Have we been able to handle these governors? We cannot handle them. And now, if you had this issue of policing to it, then we are going to have a lot of problems in our hands. Because it is easy to say we need it. And there's nobody that likes insecurity. Nobody likes it. But I can assure you, these governors, they have a way of going around things. And people will find it difficult. And if we should now allow them to handle the police without handling all these areas I mentioned, not only police. If you cannot handle the legislature, judiciary, and the local government matter, then forget about the police matter. Because now, you have gone, they can do anything to handle their opponent. And if you see it's a joke, let us try it. You can always try it. There's no problem. But I can assure you, see what they are doing with their cause. Look at what they are doing with their cause. If you now give them thoughts in uniform, we'll see what will happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I didn't get your name again. My last caller is still being pessimistic about the issue of giving state police the nod. Chief Ogakwu Dominic, as president of Civil Society Groups for Good Governance. We have seen the state governors as, we know that our state governors, they are the chief security officers of the state, and they are supposed to take full responsibility for issues concerning insecurity, take decisions whenever the need arises. The issue of appointments, police commissioners in leadership position to manage states, would this definitely be an issue that will be politicized for selfish gains? Because this has been the fear, this has been the issue, or it will be something that will bring hope for what we are looking out.
All right, thank you very much. I actually understand the fears of the last caller, but I must tell you that on a scale of 1 to 10, he's totally not correct.
Okay.
Because if you are talking about governors who are misbehaving or who are becoming overbearing, there are just a few of them. It's like a few bad eggs who, they say, spoil the rest. Mm-hmm. There are governors who actually are performing. There are people in all quarters, in all spheres of life who are committed to good governance. That is true. You see, the issue about Nigeria is that we try to demarcate a lot of our policy even before they arrive because of the fears. And it boils down to the laziness of our people, not being citizen action against bad leadership. We tend not to actually look at things from the side issue. We are not even ready to sacrifice, to be neck deep. Look at the issues that the people have been really fully committed to. You see that it is easy for government to now say that they cannot go against the people. The people are the ones who are holding the power. So if it's because we already make these governors to look like they are feudal lords or like it is their estate. So all we do is that as soon as somebody becomes governor, we feel that person has all the powers to even control our lives. That is not true.
But there's immunity to these governors.
There's immunity, but the people also can reverse their immunity because when you bring an unpopular policy and the people rise up against it, I tell you, there's no immunity that can cover you for that. There is no immunity that can cover for that. In any case, like Honorable said, if we say we are practicing federalism, state policing or state police is one of the issues that must actually show that we are navigating or we are gravitating towards true federalism. Overchoking the center has not paid off at all in the final analysis. If you take the advantage and the disadvantage of what we are talking about, the advantage outweigh. Okay, you want our citizens to be killed. Look at food shortage now. There's already a projection that by June there's going to be food scarcity. There's going to be food crisis.
Sorry, sir. Let me interject
before the comment of that comment, so that we can be able to address an issue.
Yes, sir.
The issue raised by the last caller.
Yeah, sir. Just a minute. Sorry. Let's take this call before we address it. Hello. Good morning.
Please, sorry to call back.
Okay.
Please quickly. It is true. I'm a sound pessimistic, and I have my reasons. But I can assure you one thing. I prefer community policing to state policing. And the community policing should be handled by the IG. Because look at what just happened in Ossai. See how a governor, because he knew that he had the meaning, he came all the way from Lokoja, come and whisk away his baby setup. That's what we want. And I can assure you, many of them, if not all of them, how many of them don't have the answer was sent in their pocket and what do they call it? The judiciary in their pocket. And look at how many of them are allowed it. Look at where to kill their own. How many of them? 10 minutes. And if you want to pay, 10 minutes. What I'm saying is that, see, I'm not saying we shouldn't go ahead, but all of us, we are in need. We all know that we need food. I know. But I can these people, these problems they are the problem we have in this country.
And not all of them. When you begin to generalize, definitely your assertions and your own submissions will be wrong. Well, sir, you were trying to...
Yeah, I wanted to address most of those fears. You know, these are problems on the foundation of recruitment pattern of our politics.
Okay.
Now, the National Assembly is addressing it just now in this 10th Assembly. The issues of recruitment pattern. We are having individuals, candidates now, the way they are going about it. When you create independent candidacy, the people might choose to vote an independent candidate if a political party does not be able to perform in terms of his fear. In terms of the fear, people can change to an independent candidate who is popular, who have all the requisite personality to be able to address a position. So if National Assembly can go forward and these independent candidacies are enshrined in our constitutions, definitely in most states, independent candidates can win an election if he's supported. So if a political party policy does not agree in terms of conducting local government elections, which is one of his fear, that the state have not been able to conduct effective local government election system, which I agree with him. But what is the cure to that? Independent candidacy can cure that effectively. So I believe most of the things he's saying, the people, as in terms of revolutions, the people are the watchdog of the society. If the people knows their power, they can address issues of judiciary, they can address issues of local government election, they can address virtually all aspects of their life. We're also not talking that, we're also going to community policing, which he advocated. When you have to, first of all, establish a state police, looked at it, and be able to, state police can also be able to coordinate community policing. And when we begin to coordinate community policing, the affairs of community will be effectively policed. So I believe his fear can be addressed.
Indeed, the interaction has been very, very fruitful and very, very robust. Just in case you are listening to us for the first time, or just in case you are joining the conversation, it is HallowMace On Radio. It is a political talk show which intends to promote good governance, deepen democratic value for the interest of every Nigerian. You can still call us. We are discussing state police, the benefit or the disadvantages or the advantages. Good morning. Welcome. Moses from Orozo.
Yeah.
You have a question? Go ahead quickly.
My solution is that I don't subscribe to
You don't subscribe to it. Why? Why don't you subscribe to state police? What are your reasons?
They do a good work. Because all these are covered. They are like more. If you go to state, it's not there.
Well, I may have to cut you because I'm finding it difficult. I'm straining my ears to hear you. And if I don't hear you, there's no how we can react to your question, or we can react, we can give you answers to whatever you want to know. Honorable Dom,
Moderator, before you give another question, there are trending issues currently going on.
Yes.
Issues where minister makes some careless comment.
Yeah.
Issues of under 15, 16 and 17 years old taking jams. I think it was a very big careless statement.
Yeah.
That ought not to have emanated
from such personality.
You see, if you run a 4-6-6 system, and what is 4-6-6 system? A child is 4 years. He enters primary school at the age of 4 years.
Yeah.
He finishes at the age of 10 years. And finishes secondary school at the age of 16 years. Are you going to deprive that child from getting admissions? Because and what would the child be doing within the 2 years space? What are you creating? And how effective is that? Has it been practiced? So I believe that such careless statements should not come from a position, such an exhausted position as a Minister of Education. Substantive minister for that effect. Our Constitution, if you looked at Section 18, that's why I brought this.
Yes. Let's have it.
Section 18 of the Constitution. It says government shall direct its policy towards ensuring that there are equal and adequate education opportunity at all levels. At all levels.
Equal and adequate.
Yes.
That is your underlining word.
Yes. At all levels. The government shall strive to eradicate illiteracy. So do you want an old man to be in primary school just like in my own days? My own days happened to be so because there was a civil war. And when we're coming out from a civil war, you find out that many people have lost a lot of years. And when you enter primary school, you are seen as a man. And does your maturity as a man makes you intelligent?
Yeah.
No, that's not the basis. So I believe the minister should look at it again. And I call on the 10th National Assembly not to support such policy in any way. Because even in abroad, you see a 14 years old in university. I see a 20 years old PhD. So what are we talking about? These are children. Well, I suppose ICT-wise.
We're in the computer age, and
Yes.
the economy of the world is
So
changing.
I believe that, and the Constitution does not even support the minister's statement. I think I'll refer the minister to go back and read the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You want to eradicate illiteracy, and you are saying that a 17 years old, just won an award, scholarship in 14 universities across both in America, Canada, UK, and everywhere, and score 8 A's.
Whoa.
8 A's. And score 350 in JAM. Out of 400. He's 17 years old, and you're saying that such person should not be admitted into the education of this country?
That's very insensitive.
Completely.
Well, the conversation is getting interested. So you may wish to react. We are digressing from state policing. Do you think the minister?
So we are already agitating. We have written a position on this matter.
On the minister's comment.
If possible, we may be hitting the street very soon.
Yes.
Because those are. I think the minister is actually losing ground. I see him as someone that is lackluster. He's actually not very proactive. I've had issues where a few places where he's supposed to have been very proactive, but he has not done that. So far since he came on board, he has not made any policy statement. And the one that is coming is actually anti the people. It's totally against growth. It's not. I don't know where he got that from. I think that's why we have to infuse more young people into governance, however you want to look at it. Because I feel that position is stale and is not in tune with reality. We are talking about the jet age where people are becoming graduates, people are holding PhD at the age of 20, and you are here trying to what extent, to what end, to what benefit, what are the benefits of what he's saying? Is it that is it using that as a way of trying to cut down on the unemployment challenge? That's why we need things like state police to come in. That's why we need to create a very convenient security environment for people to come and invest. Because I think he's looking at it from the fact that people graduate from school and they can't find a job
on a yearly basis.
But that is not a strategy to end unemployment. There are better ways to actually bring proper discussions on how we can make the country better. So for you to now begin to reduce in fact, somebody wrote a position and said, what do you expect these people to do within 2 years if somebody leaves secondary school at the age of 16, 15?
Exactly.
That we have a lot of them already who are leaving school by 15, 16. What do you want them to do between those 2 years? You want them to become idle, and they say the idle mind is what? The devil's workshop. You want these people to practice all manner of criminality? Is that what you're saying? For me, that statement coming from, with all due respect, coming from a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a father, and a man that is highly placed, for this president to trust you enough to give you a very juicy position like the Minister of Education, then I think they have to review. If the size of that shoe is too big for him, he should better quit. There are a lot of Nigerians who are ready, who can do the job. That's what we are saying. Citizen action against bad leadership or people who are not fit. If a man is not fit, even the issue, the fears people are expressing about state police because of our laziness as a people, we are not ready. We are not ready to actually pay the price for freedom. If we are ready, if a governor is taking a position that you know that is unpopular, people can mobilize and go after it. We need to begin to see those kind of issues happen in Nigeria. That is exactly what will change the narrative. If we think that we have to always treat everything with kid gloves, it will not work. I think this is a time for citizens to begin to really know that the power resides with them, not with the people that they are put in power. The power resides with the people. We need to come to that consciousness, and it must be an orientation that will start with the people. Nobody in government will begin to come and tell you the truth. No governor that you put there, no matter how good it is, that will not begin to take advantage of that position as governor, given the fact that he will be immune and the rest of it. But once a man comes to the position, that is when the people should even hold him more accountable. That's when we should shine our eyes and ensure that these people are doing the right thing. I want to even commend the president, because the president seems to be a president that listens to the people. If you see most of the policies that he brings out and the people revolt, he tries to actually find around it because he does not want to become an unpopular president. So I feel that even this position of the minister is his position. If he gets to the president, it will not stand.
Even when he talked about projected issues of maturity, that the students are not matured, a student that passed through hostess system from secondary school, SS1, SS2, SS3, up to the level of tertiary institution, and you are saying that such person that has been exposed into such environment is not matured to be in the same level or in the same kind of environment, because a hostel system is the same kind of environment because they are going to still stay in the hostel and behave maturely. So these children are matured. they are quickly exposed, unlike us.
Indeed.
When there was civil war, we didn't have time to be able to go into the school system. We're in the bush, running away. Also coming out from a malnutrition, system, because during the war there are a lot of malnutrition, and at the end of the day, we that was supposed to start school in the 60s started schools in almost late 70s, and we are men in primary schools. Is that what the minister wants to return us back to the old age?
Well,
that's what I don't know.
It shows a lack of ideas on the part of those who we recruit as leaders.
I can assure you, if we open up these arguments to the phone lines, we will have different kind of opinions. Someone might argue such kind of comments coming from a respected individual in a public office could be compared to that of a region of the country that embrace teenage marriage. And here we are advocating for underage to be admitted into tertiary institution when you are looking for an improved economy, a system that is working in all sectors of the country. Well, we are running out of time, but before we go, let's have our parting shot on state policing. What could be done to avoid the dangers, the red flags, before we talk about implementation of state police? We've exhausted all the good side of it, all the advantages, but what could be done to try to keep at bay the red flags that might come with state policing? Honorable Ossai.
I think the state policing is definitely, the National Assembly is going to put it in a concurrent list.
Okay.
A concurrent list where state can address the issue of police, federal can address the issue of police. Now, the issue the National Assembly should go into is the operational pattern. How is the state going to operate, and where is the meeting point, at what level? I am also happy that a lot of issues are being taken to even concurrent lists where states can establish one. At state universities, the police in the state should be able to address that of a state university when there's a problem. In a federal university, the federals should be able to address the issues that they manage from such key area. Likewise, if any areas that the state established that are within the concurrent list should be the jurisdictions, of that state police. Why also the federal should also have that thin line of that jurisdiction. So I think the constitutional provision should be able to create a situation where an act can also be created to define the powers of state policing in the state and to define the powers of the state policing from the federal. So I think that is the key. And the last two callers who dwell much on the state policing offered a lot of solutions
and advice.
So such key area must be looked into. We want to be able to define the operational patterns, how they work, and how a commissioner or inspector general of the state police will be created, will be appointed. Those are key areas to be able to remove completely, not all the to remove the power from the governor of appointee, whereby they'll be subjected to election within the ranks and file of policing. When you reach a certain grades of police, you can be appointed into such position through an election of the among the ranks and file. Because if I want to vote for you, I believe that you are going to give me good welfare. True. You are a senior person, and if you are a bad person that have risen from the ranks and file in the police, you won't be voted in. So, and it will be also a confirmation of 2/3 of State House of Assembly.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Nicholas Ossai. Sir, your parting shot. Let me come to Chief Ogakwu Dominic, the President Civil Society Group for Good Governance. Your parting shot. In 1 minute, try to disabuse or pacify the minds of those who are against the police. Try to disabuse their mindset from the fears that they are envisaging.
their fears are germane, like every other policy of government. But I believe that they should take time to look at the advantages and as against the disadvantages. We are talking about securing human lives, which is paramount, which is a key responsibility of government. Their fears are very welcome, but I think that's where the implementation, like Honorable is trying to say, because what we are trying to say is that we want to make it a constitutional matter. So the National Assembly that has that oversight function will be able to actually do justice to it in all ramifications. And they should be rest assured that Nigeria is not actually what we are thinking about it. I think Nigerians should begin to believe in this country. We need to begin to look at things differently. Like I was trying to share with the producer, I said that why do we try to change our clothes? It's not the same clothes you wore today that you're wearing.
Very true.
If you feel we have been trying, the federal police have been trying. So it's time for us to change our minds. If we have been afraid all this while, it's time for us to change our tactics. So let's change, because this is critical to our national development. It will bring about, in fact, if we can solve security, the issues surrounding security, which state police is one of the way forward in solving these issues, I'm sure the value chain in what the state police will bring is enormous. And I want every Nigerian to rise up to the occasion. Let's not be lazy. Let's hold every leader accountable. Let's shine our eyes. Let's be responsible towards one another. That is the only way to go. No matter who you put there, there are going to be issues. So what we need to do is, as Nigerians, we need to be more proactive. We need to be more sensitive. We need to hold people more accountable at every point in time, especially when a responsibility of that level of being governor, of being whatever, is handed over to these persons.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Ogakwu Dominic, who is the President Civil Society Group for Good Governance. And also thank you very much to my other guest, Honorable Nicholas Ossai, for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
My parting shot would be, as a citizen of this great country, as an electorate, you have voted people to take responsibility or to represent your interests. It is not good enough to fold your hands and criticize. We have a mandate to hold people accountable with due process. So we also need to be proactive to follow processes and program decision-making policies of government so that we can have the best. It is not good enough for you to vote and expect things to work out. We all have a collective interest. And remember, security is paramount. Security is everybody's business. That is the size of the package. The time is 11 o'clock. We do well to appreciate all our callers who called and made salient contributions. Your listenership is well appreciated. We'll see you next week with a brand new topic on the program HallowMace on Radio. My name is Daniel Odi. God bless your heart. We continue with the rest of our programs.
Those against the eyes have it.
Our journey has been steady from the advent. With crystal clear vision, we started off as a news online portal. We subsequently evolved into a magazine, and now on your radio. We do not only bear the name Media House. We practice with the best ethos of our professional calling, presenting facts with objectivity. We are committed and resolute. We are HallowMace. We are the standard bearers. It's HallowMace On Radio, dedicated to promotion of legislature, democracy, and good governance. It's hot, interactive, educating, engaging, and entertaining. HallowMace On Radio, Thursdays, 10 a.m. on Armed Forces Radio, 107.7 FM. HallowMace On Radio. Parliament, brought to the people. Brought to the people. The people. The people. The people.